Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. Wow, it felt so strange saying my introduction. I haven't said it in so long. It's been what, 3 months since I think my last video came out, somewhere around there, which probably means it's been 4 months since the last time that I filmed, and it definitely feels strange. So I'll have to get used to this again. Anyways, how are you guys? It's been a long time. Hope everything is good. Hope you haven't forgotten me yet. So today, I'm sort of back. I don't know how often or how consistent this back is going to be. We'll see. But so for my first video back, I thought I would do a quick update sort of on my life and why I've been away, and a quick update on my fragrance collection. I just thought it would be strange coming back after being away for so long and just jumping into a fragrance video. So that's why I'm gonna do a short update, but it really is going to be very short. So why have I been away for so long? Well, it wasn't intentional, to be honest. I thought, I would be away for a few weeks, maybe a month, sort of towards the end of the summer, the beginning of school year for my daughter. But clearly my break lasted a lot longer. And, the reasons are pretty simple, to be honest. One, I've just been busy with work, busy with life, busy with my daughter, busy doing other things. YouTube is a hobby for me. Like, my payments from YouTube are so small that really they account for nothing. I don't really get PR. So this is purely hobby for me, and yeah, it kind of falls behind when there are other things to do, when there are other things happening in life. So that's kind of reason number one. And reason number two, this channel has always been about fragrances, and it is a big passion of mine. It has been for a long time and it still is. But the truth is, I'm the kind of person who is interested in many other things, and I'm kind of unsure what to do here, because I myself am a little bit bored just talking about fragrances. I'm interested in other things like, I don't know, makeup, skincare, home decor, whatever, other things, but because my channel has always been purely about perfume, how do I incorporate these other things? I don't think you would be interested in watching it. So I don't know, I'm kind of undecisive as to how to continue this channel. Do I continue just talking about perfume? Well, how many times can you talk about the same fragrances, or mention them in similar types of videos? I don't know. I think it gets boring. It gets boring for me as someone who talks about them, and it makes it boring for me as a viewer, as well. And that's the truth is, I haven't really been watching a lot of YouTube either. It's not just filming videos, but I haven't really been watching either. So, if there are any of my fellow creators watching this video, the reason you haven't really seen a lot of comments from me is because honestly, I haven't been watching. I've just been sort of staying away and doing lots of other things, So that's kind of the other reason. So, for those two reasons, I haven't filmed, but I don't want to force myself to film. I want it to come organically like I did at the beginning. And, in the last few weeks, I started feeling the itch to film again and to talk to you guys. And that's why I'm doing it today. Now, how often I'm going to do this, how consistent I'm going to be, I have no idea. And I don't want to make any promises, We'll see how things go. There might be breaks here and there. I might be consistent for a while. I don't know. We will see. But anyways, for now, I'm back. I'm going to try to film, as many videos as I can. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. I hope, you haven't forgotten me yet and you're still gonna watch. And actually, just very recently, we hit 5,000 subscribers on the channel, which, you know, for many people is not a lot, but for me it is. And I'm very, very grateful and very thankful for all of you who are subscribed, who stayed with me for a while. Some of you have stayed with me since the very beginning of my channel. So thank you so much. I'm definitely very, very appreciative of that. So that's the end of the update section. Now, what I also wanted to talk to you about today is a little bit about sort of the state of my fragrance collection, or more specifically, a small declutter that I did in the last, I don't know, 3-4 months. You know, earlier this year, I did a video talking about my collection and where it was. And I mentioned that, you know, it's in a pretty good state right now. I'm happy with the fragrances that I have. I've sort of decluttered what didn't have a place in my collection, and I completely stick by that. So today I want to share with you a few fragrances that left my collection since then, but there honestly are not many. These are not like all-time declutters where so many fragrances have been decluttered. No, this is just a few sort of that needed to leave. In fact, a few of them are the ones that you haven't even heard about yet on my channel because they kind of came and left pretty quickly. So that's what I'm gonna talk to you about today, share with you some of the fragrances that I decluttered. Maybe next couple of videos, I'll share with you some new fragrances that I acquired and talk to you about my, shopping habits, how they're going, how they've changed, and, sort of what's going on with that. But for today, let's talk about a few fragrances that left my collection. Now, the first one that I decluttered is, and by the way, I don't have any of these anymore. They all left, so I will be putting up pictures of these. So the first one that left is Rosendo Matti number 5. Now, it's a very beautiful, interesting fragrance that doesn't work for everyone. Some people get that kind of burnt rubber smell from it at the beginning. I didn't really get that, but it was a very unique, very special fragrance. Here's what happened. I think this fragrance has a lot of similarities with Baby Cat from YSL, but I enjoy Baby Cat a lot more. It's kind of smoother. It really doesn't have of that rubbery scent at all, and I just enjoy it so much more. And ever since I acquired it, number 5 was completely left behind. I just kept reaching for Baby Cat whenever I was in a mood to wear something like that, which is really kind of deep, smoky vanilla. So there was absolutely no reason to keep Rosendo Matti. I decluttered it, it left, and I'm thrilled with Baby Cat still. Second one that left is also kind of a slightly unusual, strange fragrance, and that is Andalusian Soul from the Merchant of Venice. I've spoken about that fragrance a few times. It's kind of a gourmand, but again, unusual gourmand. It has a sort of a bakery vibe, but with something else. There's something else almost leaning slightly animalic in that fragrance. And although it was interesting and it was beautiful, I found myself not reaching for it. I have so many gourmands that I love that I reach for on a consistent basis that, again, there was just no need to keep this one, so it left. Now, here's a fragrance that I've never spoken about because it kind of came and left relatively quickly, within a few months. Now, this is a fragrance that I actually got in a swap, and that is Xnilo Devil's Tender. Now, I've tested this fragrance in a store before, but I've tested it on a blotter and it smelled really, really pretty. Kind of in a style of Xnilo, which is kind of this very gentle, elegant, sort of powdery floral. I thought it was so pretty. And so when somebody offered to swap it for, I don't even know what, something I had, I agreed. And it came, and at first, again, I tested it and I really, really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, when I put it on my skin, it became extremely sour. I don't know. I mean, there is musk in it. I'm kind of blaming it on the musk. I think that's what it was, but it just became super, super sour, and I did not enjoy it. All of that prettiness and softness and kind of even slight powderiness of the scent disappeared. All I could get was sourness. So unfortunately, I couldn't keep it. I couldn't wear it. So that's the reason I had to declutter it. Okay, another one is Revite Imperial from Plume Impressions. Another kind of unique, interesting scent, a scent in the house that nobody really talks about. It sort of had elements of other fragrances in it. Like it had some elements, boozy elements from Baraonda, from Nasomato. It had that kind of sour fruitiness of Rosé All Day from Gallagher. It had kind of that sweet spiciness from Ojan, from Parfums de Marly. And if you put all of these elements together, you get this fragrance. And again, although I really, really liked the scent and it was good performing scent, it always got left behind. I never reached for it. I never used it. And so, yeah, I just decided to declutter it, because what's the point of it's just standing there and collecting dust? That's not what my collection is about. My collection is about getting used. I want fragrances that I use and I want to use. And this one just wasn't one of those. So that's why it left. And now finally, I've decluttered a few fragrances from the same house. In fact, I no longer have any fragrances from this house in my collection. And I'm sort of partially a little bit sad about it, because I've spoken highly about these before and I completely stand by that. But again, I just wasn't reaching for them. Now, the house I'm talking about is the house that has been kind of hyped up in the last few years, and that is Gritty. Now, you've heard me talk about two fragrances. You've seen me showcase two fragrances in my collection from that house. In fact, again, in the last few months, I purchased the third one. And again, it stayed a few months and it left as well. So what three fragrances did I declutter? The first one is Pomelo Sento, the one in a green bottle. I had that one the longest. And it's a really pretty kind of summery, light tea scent. It had tea and it had pomelo, something else, I don't know, but it was not too sweet, pretty airy, pretty light, really nice scent. Again, I love tea scents, but I think I gravitate towards kind of stronger, heavier sort of tea scents, you know, the ones that are not so airy. And I think that's the reason I didn't really reach for this one all that much. And so I thought, okay, this one needs to go. And then I thought about the other one that I had, which is Chantii. This one is kind of more on the fruity gourmand side. It has some sweet notes. It has powdery notes. It has strawberry, actually beautiful strawberry in it. But again, the scent is relatively airy, not the best performer. I mean, in fact, all of the Gritty fragrances, in my opinion, are not the best performers, at least the ones that I've tried. And so I just thought, okay, if I'm getting rid of Pomelo Sento, I think I should get rid of Chantii. I've had it for over a year and maybe I've used it once in that time. I just, again, when I think about kind of fruity gourmand, I want something more potent. I want something stronger. That's just what I prefer. And so that one left. And the last one. So this one wasn't a blind buy. I actually sampled it. I talked about it in a dedicated video that I did for this house, which I did, I think sometime in the summer. And I liked it. And when I saw this fragrance on Fragrance Buy for a really good price, I just couldn't resist and I decided to get it. The fragrance I'm talking about is Tutu Blanc. Again, kind of really pretty fruity scent. It has apple in it, so it has a little bit of sourness in it. And I sort of had the same problem with it as with the other two. They're just too light and too airy for me. I want something more potent. And so, you know, I got it in the summer, which is a perfect season to wear this type of fragrance. But I didn't. I think, again, I wore it once. And when I was, decluttering the other two from this house, I just thought, no, there's no point leaving this one. I'm not going to use it. So all three left. In fact, Tutu Blanc, I also swapped with someone. And the other ones, I think I sold, doesn't matter. Anyways, these fragrances left my collection. So as you can see, not a lot. What do we have here? I think 7. I mean, considering the declutters I've had before, I think this is pretty good. You know, this was just a small cleanup. And again, right now, honestly, there's probably maybe only one other fragrance that is kind of on the chopping block, which I'll talk about in another video, probably the next one I film. But yeah, I'm really happy with everything else. So there you go. These are the fragrances that left my collection. Like I said, soon I'll talk to you about new fragrances that have been added. But for now, that's it. Again, I'm back for now. And thank you again to everyone who stuck around with me and who watched this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to comment, to like, and to subscribe. And I will see you soon in the next one. Bye.